Sipping on in this blissful cup. Organic rich, I'm feeling good. Real chocolate melt so sweet. Help my heart and lifts my mood. Reduce information blue. Got me feeling so alive. Chocolate tea, who would have thought? Glad I found you came in high. Warm embrace with every sip. Bringing joy I can't resist. For at night the steam's rising. In this moment I feel free. Every drop of taste divine. Regulating pressure, it's meant to be. Oh, it's true. Chocolate love, I'm lost in you. Chocolate tea, who would have thought? Glad I found you came in high. Warm embrace with every sip. Bringing joy I can't resist.
All right. Thank you so much for tuning in to our broadcast there. Yeah, that was the latest short that we uploaded and the on our shorts page here on YouTube. Just advertising our organic chocolate bush tea. And you got to check it out. If you haven't tasted it, yeah, it does. If you're a chocolate lover, you will love this. It is full of all kinds of great things for your body. Check it out. You can go over there to sambatree.com. Make sure you check it out, okay? All right, this one is definitely going to be a short one today. Big shout out, of course, to everyone that's coming in the chat. Really glad to see you guys here. As always, really, I'm glad. As people are coming in, and like I said again, they're gonna blink and we're gonna be done. I just want to give you this reminder here that this coming, is that Sunday? I think that's Sunday. This coming Sunday on the 13th. Make sure that's on a Sunday. I thought it was on a Sunday, and I'm gonna bring it up. Yeah, this Sunday. If you're not signed up, make sure you sign up. If we are having a Chat GPT for grown folks class. All right. The start time is going to be 12 noon Eastern Standard Time. Look, I got to make sure I remind myself because I'll be waking up at 12. Meanwhile, it'll be 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I can't do it. Dwayne, you can't do it. Yeah. So 12 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. All right. That's when we're going to be starting this coming Sunday. It should be a 2-hour class. It might go a little bit over simply if anybody has any questions or things like that. So you guys who have signed up, first of all, thank you so much. Appreciate that. You will be getting an email from us soon. Okay. Soon, very soon. I'll send an email and just give you some last minute instructions and where it's going to be and all that kind of stuff. So you'll be getting an email from us soon, but you're not going to want to miss this one. This is the live version of our class that we're kicking off with Samba University. And we're going to be covering everything this is going to be taught from the perspective of someone that's over 50 years old. Okay. I know I don't look like it, but yeah, over 50 years old. We're going to be teaching from that perspective, meaning that we're just going to start from the very, very bare bones, like how to create your account, why you should be using ChatGPT, and then we're going to go through different ways that you can use it and how it can be a benefit to the things that you do on a regular basis. And I've already got my booklet already pretty much done. I would say no. Tonight, that was my to-do list, was to finish putting together that booklet, because everyone that attends, you're going to get a PDF, a downloadable PDF booklet that's going to give you like tips and different things that we've covered in the class. So if you're interested in learning how to use ChatGPT for everything from just doing basic searches to health questions that you may have, to cooking, to building a business, just you name it, We're going to cover all over it. We're going to go over I'm going to teach you basic prompt engineering, and that's just a big word of just basically how to ask a question. And because you have I'll give you an example, a funny example that happened to me today. Funny example. Now, I'm on Twitter. It's kind of a nondescript channel that whatever account, profile, whatever that I have. And I'm on there, and I posted a response to someone's post. It wasn't really confrontational at all. I was just saying, we got to make sure we're checking this stuff that people are posting out here, because this right here that you just posted doesn't look legitimate. You know what I mean? It doesn't look like it's maybe coming from a real person or someone like that, right? And yeah, that's all I was saying. And a lot of people were actually agreeing, because it just didn't add up. It didn't make sense, right? And then all of a sudden, now, as for some of you that may not be aware, you may hear, like, you've heard Chat GPT, right? Then you also have one that's called Grok, Grok. That's under the umbrella of Elon Musk. Grok works hand in hand with Twitter, or X, right? And so what he did was bundle Grok with X, or Twitter, right? And so you can easily access things, and it's pretty neat, because you can challenge people's claims right there on the spot. Or if you're just, if someone posts something, you can just check in real time and verify, hey, is this accurate or not? So it's actually really, really good, So anyway, I like that. And but anyway, I just simply posted this, a response. It was a reply. That's it. Like I said, it was non-confrontational. Then all of a sudden I get this post from Grok, all right? And it went down and was saying, the reason why so many people are pushing against your pushing against your comment is of the following. And it just went down the list of all this stuff. And so I was like, people pushing again. I had, like, people were liking it. It was like 5 or 6 likes at that point. And I was like, no, what are you talking about? Right. And so anyway, but this is Grok. And then at the end of that initial comment, you know what it said? This is why you are a tool. Like, it was throwing me some shade. I was like, whoa, wait a minute. How is AI just going to come out of nowhere and just throw shade on me like this and try to make, like, whatever? I said, oh, really? All right, I'm going to make you sit your digital behind down. So anyway, so what I did was I went back to Grok, right? And what I said, like I said, again, what I posted wasn't even confrontational at all. But since Grok wanted to get up in my face, okay, I had to teach a lesson. So it came down to how the question was asked. So I went back to Grok, to the main page, and then I said, okay, this is what I need for you to do. Since I am wrong, I need you to provide for me actual factual evidence that shows it had something to do with the tariffs and how tariffs are potentially impacting small businesses right at this second. I was like, okay, show me right this second at with today's numbers, how these claims that are out here that small businesses are feeling the pinch of these tariffs. I need you to show me proof and evidence that small businesses as of right now are feeling that, because the tariffs just basically start kicking in, about a week or so ago, not even a week. And then, what Grok came back, was like apologizing to me, was like, hey, you know what? I'm sorry. I should have, I would show it to you. But anyway, my point is this. I'm trying to see if I can post. I'll show you. You think I'm making this up? It's right here. Oh, here it is. Right here. Yeah, you got to see this thing. Don't be playing, man. You gonna come up like that? Shoot. Anyway, there it is. So it says, fair point. My earlier response leaned on projections and antidotes, not real-time data, which is still lacking. April the 8th, 2025. Tariffs are hitting small businesses. Are hitting but with higher costs, but precise figures on how they are affected aren't out yet. And then it goes on. So it was trying to call me out, and I was like, wait a minute. it's too early for any small businesses to be saying, oh my gosh, like for example, what we do at Samba Tree, for example, we get stuff sometime from over, outside the country or whatever. We're not feeling that, at least not yet. We're not feeling that. And there are a lot of other businesses, the same thing. But my point is this, the way I was able to crush that was how I asked the question. I had to go back and I had to write my prompt in such a way where I said, okay, this is exactly what I need. I'm not playing with all this other stuff. I need you to tell me exactly this. And then it came back, was like, well, it's kind of sort of whatever. But I found out later on, someone actually initiated that. Like they were seeing what I guess they disagreed. Instead of just having a conversation, they said, Grok, and this is exactly what they said. They say, Grok, show him why he's a tool. That's literally what they asked. And then Grok kicked in, was like, this is why you're a tool. Was like trying to say, I was like, yeah, you need to sit down. You need to sit all the way down. But again, it's how you ask the question. And there's so many people out there that they use things like ChatGPT or Grok or Perplexity or some of these other ones that are out here, but they don't know how to really use it. You understand what I'm saying? Because there's so many things that people are missing out on. Like a lot of people, when they're doing these searches on these platforms, they're treating it like they're on Google, right? And that's okay because you're going to get a response. But what we're going to show you is how to get way more than that. I mean, you're going to come out looking like a scholar almost, just with the searches and how to ask these questions. And I had played a video some time ago. I forgot who it was. It was some tech guy or whatever, it was high ranking tech person out there. And he said, this is going to be the key for people excelling in this AI space, is knowing how to ask questions. And so that's what we're going to cover, is just the basics of that. Okay. So, you're not going to go to ChatGPT, for example, and say, okay, show me how to start a business. Well, it's going to give you basic response to that, but you're going to have to go through and know how to ask and what you're asking and all of that. And what you're going to find is your results are going to be so just robust. You're going to be able to take it and do all kinds of stuff with it. And so we're going to cover just all the basics. So if you're just getting, you've been hearing a lot about it and you've been, kind of curious and want to get, this is going to be a good starting point from you. And I'm telling you, if you follow it through, y'all are going to be like, you're going to be looking like the tech wizards in your house for real, once we get through that. So again, go to our website, sambatree.com, click on Samba University. Okay, click on Samba University. And then from there, you'll see the class sign up. It's $30. Okay, $30. Click on it, sign up, and then boom. And then that's it. And then I just had a thought that came to my mind. Just had a thought. What I'll do is, for those, because we're going to have another class soon after that, that's going to focus on teaching you the basics of digital art or AI artwork. That's going to be teaching you that. We're not going to just look at one platform. We're going to be using multiple platforms. And I'm going to teach you the basics of it. Same thing. You're going to get a booklet, all that kind of stuff with it. Okay. So if you sign up for this class that we're in right now, you will get a discount for that next class. Okay. You'll get a discount. So the price is pretty much probably going to be the same. Not sure. But if you sign up for this class, I'll give you a discount you'll automatically get a discount for the next class. Okay. How about that? So I'm going to make sure I remember that. What I'll do is, I'm making a mental note right now. I'll send y'all a code, or I'll provide you with a code on class day or workshop day that you'll be able to use, so that when we post that second class, you already get your discount. Okay. So I just wanted to make sure I wanted to bring that up to you. So so I'm looking forward to that. If you haven't signed up for it, again, make sure you sign up for it. This is targeted for people who are just getting started. If you are of a certain age and you're just like, okay, I just want to try it, I just want to learn more, this is going to be for you. We're going to go at our speed. Okay. But it's going to be a lot of information. I personally assure you that. And you're going to have plenty of opportunity to ask questions and to do your little lab kind of assignment thing while we're in class. You can have plenty opportunity to do that. The great thing about attending this in a live setting is that you can ask those questions, because at a later date, we will make it available for people. It'll be up there, it's pre-recorded, and they can just download it and all that kind of stuff. But you're not going to be able to ask anybody any questions. That's the difference. So that's why I'm trying to get as many people as possible within this live setting so that you can ask as many questions as you can, and it'll be nice and fun and relaxing and the whole nine. Okay. So make sure you check that out. Okay. All right. So let's move on to the main topic that we're going to be talking about tonight. And like I said, again, I promise you it will not be too long tonight. I promise you. Okay. So the topic of tonight and what we're talking about is how you got to be very careful, family. You got to be very careful of a lot of the rage bait that's out here, and the importance of making sure that a lot of people say, well, I did my research. Well, I did my research. A lot of people say this, but what I see every day is that people don't do research. They don't. They read. I don't know, research in their minds, in the library of their mind. Well, there is no library. They just claim it. And that's it. There's literally no library. And if they have one, there's no books in it. I'm saying, when you go into their brain and you walk through the township of their brains, and you're like, okay, well, where's the library? And they're like, we don't have one. We don't have one. That thing been closed for years. I'm serious. A lot of these people are. Let me give you an example of what I'm talking about. Let me give you an example, and then I'll get to the main thing I wanted to share with you. This story right here. Now, for me, I'm just more and more, I'm just sitting back and I'm just watching. I'm not getting all, you see what they're doing? Nope. Sitting back and watching and taking notes. That's all I'm doing. Now, this story here, we're not going to get too much in the weeds in this. We don't have to. But the family, because I checked and made sure. Now, this first one here, I'm not too sure about. I have some questions on that. Did they start at 50? I think they did. I'm pretty sure they did. I just want to double check and make sure that I ain't being taken. You know what I'm saying? That, this ain't some fake whatever. But I did some checking. I wanted to make sure, okay, it started at 50, right? Right. Okay, it seems like it did. Now, these other ones I have, these other two, yeah, I was able to see, went to the site and all that stuff. So, but this Carmelo Anthony, it's so weird saying that because, you got the NBA player, the Carmelo Anthony. So it's not the same. I know he's tripping there. I know I would be. But Carmelo Anthony, his family they first put together a GoFundMe page. And I think that went up to like 150,000, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, it went up to 150,000. And then there were other people as well creating these pages. This is what people do this all the time. Like if there's a very hot topic or, a story that involves whomever, you got a lot of people that will spam it and say, this is how cruel the world is. They will also create GoFundMe pages as well, and taking people's money. This is how cold and cruel people are, right? And so they did the same thing with this. People all over were creating these fake Carmelo Anthony pages and saying that, hey, send us the money, but they were fake pages. But the family, they did in fact create one. And if I'm not mistaken, it got up to as much as $150,000. Now, I believe what I was reading, they said GoFundMe does have a policy that, if someone is charged with that if there's some kind of murder or criminal element to the story or the backstory of the campaign, then they really are not supposed to allow you to post anything, from what I understand. And so apparently that must be the case because GoFundMe pulled it. You can't even, if you go to GoFundMe right now, you can't find it. However, if you go to Give, Send, Go, because I just went there before I came here live, well, it's still up. Well, if you follow kind of how this family's been rolling here. Apparently, they started off, the goal was 50,000. And it's understandable how, regardless of what we're not going to get into who's guilty, who is in. We talked about that in the last broadcast. I'm not even talking about that. Okay, I just want to keep people focused there. So the family started off with the goal of 50K. Then that money, as it was rolling in, next thing you know, they raised it again. They raised it to, I think I had one, it was 150. Yeah, I forgot to add that one in. It was 150. Then they raised it again to 200,000. And now if you go there, it's at 300,000. Now, some people may say, well, it might be because of, because legal fees are expensive and all that. Yeah, they can be, but this ain't exactly looking like that. And so this happened before. You remember we talked about a similar story. I'm not saying that, okay, they grifting, but I'm from the school, if it walks like a duck, talks like a duck, or quacks like a duck, I just, then that's my math that I've used. And usually I'm pretty right on that. And so you remember there was a story that we talked about recently where it was, it's involved some, black folks. It was a young black man with his daughter. They were at a car wash. Unfortunately, got shot and killed. Both of them did. The baby mama, she took to GoFundMe or one of these platforms. I think it was GoFundMe. Did a whole thing. I need to raise money, for funeral expenses and all that. And of course, it exceeded whatever the goal was. Next thing you know, of course, she got the money. The next thing you know, she's literally on social media and had stacks of money and was just like flashing it. She had 2 guys that she hired from somewhere or whatever. They were holding guns and all that. And she was just acting like, yeah, I got this much. Seriously, I'm not playing. I am not playing. This really did happen. I showed y'all this on video. And so I was like, wow, this is where it's come to. So what I'm saying to you is this. Is this family doing that? I'm not going to go and definitively say that this is yet another grift, but there's just too many. But I will tell you this. There are a lot of people who aren't taking the time to look at this. They get emotional. They hear about this stuff and they immediately jump on it and just start sending money. That's all they do. This is how you're witnessing how churches make their money, is they get you in a place of emotionalism. And then once you get into a place of emotionalism, then they can manipulate you however way they need to manipulate you. We saw that recently with Marvin Sapp, lock the door or close the doors, and making people feel like, yo, you got to do, it's all manipulation. And so people do this stuff all the time. But like I said, again, as much as I want to get a little bit, there's a couple things I want to touch on that story, but I don't want to do that tonight because I want to keep people focused. But my point of bringing that up is that there are a lot of people, even in this age of information, who, with all of the tools that are accessible to us now, they don't look things up. They don't take the time and investigate. Instead, people are groomed and trained digitally to stay in your emotions. And it's crazy. Like I said, again, you literally have tools that can dispel this stuff just like that. But a lot of people don't take the time to do it. This is why we're teaching this ChatGPT class, to help people to be able to call this stuff out when you see it, to do your own investigation. So that story. But the main story that I wanted to bring up to you, it was this. I came across this on Twitter or X. And when I first saw it, if it wasn't for the community note, I wouldn't have known I would have thought this was real. I want to play this video for you, and I want you to take a listen or watch it and see exactly what I'm talking about. Check this out. Let's see, volume up. You ain't gonna hear nothing. All right, let's see.
Take the hat off so I can finish my lesson. Take the hat off in my classroom, and I'm not going to say it again.
So my hat's distracting you from teaching the lesson?
Okay. Take the hat off. I asked you nicely. Now I'm gonna act unruly because I asked you nicely to take the hat off.
You just touched me.
I touched the hat. I didn't touch you. And if you want to remain in my classroom,
you're not going to touch me or my mom.
Okay, you can get out. You can get out.
I'm not leaving. I'm here just the way as everyone else is. Teach a lesson then.
I'm not teaching a lesson until you get out. Because
I'm not getting out.
I feel very disrespected.
All right, right now, let me stop. It's about almost halfway through. I'm going to stop you because I know for some of you right now, your emotions I can feel it. For some of you, your emotions are already getting locked in. You're already getting locked in. All right, I can feel it. That's why I stopped there. But just keep watching and keep listening. Okay, let me continue to play it.
Disrespected. That's what's wrong with. Oh my God, are you kidding me? That is 100% what's wrong with everybody. You guys are too soft, and you try to make it personal. This ain't personal. This is history, baby. And if you're going to be teaching history, you better teach it on the right side. Because look, you still got this silly ass map up here. Gulf of Mexico, my ass. It's Gulf of America for one.
First of all, the language that you use, and you need to watch that. The lack of disrespect you have, get out.
The lack of disrespect, you just put your hands on me. Ain't going nowhere. No, you want to get me out of here? You got security.
Get out.
No.
Get out. Get out. Get out. Get out, man. Get out. Fuck this life. Get out.
All right. So you watch that and automatically assume, like in this post, the person that posted, they said she should be fired immediately for what she did. So if you saw that posted, I think many people would have just ran with that, right? And be like, oh, these teachers are getting out of hand. However you feel, some people would side with the teacher. Then other people, they would side with the student, right? Well, thankfully, someone did their homework. Again, this is the importance of doing real basic research, all right? And come to find out, they said these are actors in a skit designed to maximize conservative outrage on TikTok. These same actors have appeared in similar videos. And I think I'm going to do this second one here. Let me try this one and see what. Oh, no, it's not that one. Hold on. Because that's okay, not that one. All right, it's the same one. Let me see now.
You need to take that hat off if you'd like to remain in my class.
See?
What? There's no
Take the hat off if you want to remain in my class. Take the hat off.
We're in history.
Regardless of whatever the hat says, there's no hats allowed in the classroom. You see anyone else?
The guy sitting down, he was just in the other video. Same scenario, same room.
I'm not taking the hat off.
You want to take the hat off, or you want to keep it on? Then you can keep it on outside of my classroom.
I'd be more than happy to. Your fucking class sucks ass anyway.
Good.
You see?
You're teaching history, but you're not going to teach what the right history is. You still got this stupid ass Gulf of Mexico up there. It's Gulf of America. Gulf of America.
All right, you see that? Same actor, they just use a different teacher. Let me see if it was this first one, because it was another one too. Hold on. All right, here you go. Now, this is the same black teacher that was in that first one.
Who just threw that ball at me? Who just threw that ball at me? I'm going to ask you again. Who threw that ball at me? I'm sick of this class. I'm tired of y'all. Y'all getting on my nerves. Do you understand? You laughing. I'm funny? I'm a joke to you? I'm a joke to you? Your mama sent you to school to think this a joke? I'm trying to teach y'all something. All of y'all failing. Ain't nobody getting good grades out this class. Education is a joke to you, huh? Huh? Say something. Say something. You think you so grown? Say something. You. Now you want to sit there and be calm back there. Don't be calm now. Any other time you running your mouth and talking. And you. Wait, always on your phone. You sitting here with AirPods in my class, huh? So you ain't even listening to nothing I'm saying anyway. No. You think I'm a joke? You think I'm a joke? Take that hood off. That's a sign of disrespect. I've been telling you that since day one. Wow. It's a sign of disrespect. I don't get paid enough for this. I don't get paid enough for you to sit in here with AirPods while I'm teaching.
We'll get another job.
Shut up while I'm talking. I'm so sick
I can only take but so much yelling, especially it's late. So I'm not going to, but you get the point. So this woman here that's yelling, she was in that first one. That other one, the one that I just played prior to that, it was the same scenario. They just used different actors. The student was, I think, in the first one. All right. Okay. And someone posted this on social media, and they, again, not knowing that this is fake, they added to it, teacher cursed out the classroom, then quit her job. No, that these are actors. You see this? These are actors. And so whoever posted this, they just ran with it and assumed that this is what it is. 77,000 likes for this. 77,000. All right. And then they said, note the actors are too old to be in school. The camera angle is too convenient. The school is not identified. Anyway, and then they go on with that. Okay. And so there you go. So I wanted to, so this is, like I told you, that's why I said this video is, our broadcast tonight is not going to be long, but, and for something like this, it doesn't need to be, but all the more reason why it's important for you when you come across stuff on social media, you have to make sure that when you feel that emotion raising up, make sure you take the time and ask questions. Ask. I know for some people that's a little bit difficult because a lot of times we're just used to just jumping, right? But you gotta learn in this age, you gotta learn to scale back first and then say, you know what? Let me find out if this is legit or not. Someone asked, Jennifer Young said, what's the purpose for this? People are bored, nothing else to do with their time. Exactly. Well, I'll give you some ideas of what the purpose of it is. The purpose of it is we're in the age of people. There are people out here. I don't care if they black, white, Asian, Hispanic, whatever, it doesn't matter. They do not care. And I was just sharing this with my daughter. They do not care of the impact that this has on real people. You have, like in those skits, you saw those people, they're actors, right? And so we're in an age right now where people will do skits like this. And if it goes viral, it will come out where, they could get some phone calls. They'll be like, you know what? I really liked, I really like what you did in that. Cause I get, we're doing a commercial. People are resorting to this stuff now. Do you remember there was a video? Some of y'all remember this. This came out. I'm just remembering this now. There was a video of, it was a black woman and the guy she was on a date with, I think he was Hispanic. And the Hispanic guy was like, I'm going to take you out on a date. And he was like, okay, we're going to, I don't know if the first date, it was like IHOP. It was like Applebee's. I think it was Applebee's or something like that, right? And this black woman proceeded to just lay him out. How you gonna take me to Applebee's and all this stuff, and just was laying him out. And meanwhile, he was like just sitting there like, dang, okay. And folk took that whole video and ran with it. I mean, they ran with that thing. They ran faster than Bolt, Usain Bolt. They ran faster than him with that, and because everybody was taking it. They just saw what it was and thought it was real. Well, that's unfortunately it's acting. That's what acting is. When you're looking at movies or looking at a stage play or whatever, it's they're acting. They're pretending to be something, but the goal is to convince you that what you're watching is actually real. Well, that's what they're doing in the world of social media right now. Oh, Cheesecake Factory. I knew somebody was gonna be on it. Yes. Y'all remember your stuff. I'm good. You remember these memes. I'm serious. I try to bookmark all this stuff. Yeah, it was Cheesecake Factory. I remember that. You right. Got the restaurant right. There you go. And it was Cheesecake Factory. And then someone did a little digging, come to find out this woman, she was like, well, I have what was it? It was like some kind of like, she does like counseling or something like that. And she said, well, I did the video as a way to kind of let people know, you know, how not to act and that kind of stuff. But no. It was, it's a social experiment. But see, that ain't the way to do it. That's not the way to do it, because people on social media, they take things, it doesn't take much for people to go off. You know what I'm saying? What if, let's just say, I'm not saying this is the case, but let's just say this Carmelo Anthony story, what if, let's say it came out and none of it happened. Let's just say, I'm not saying that's what happened, but let's just say, man, do you understand? You see how much rage has been brought into the picture over this story, and we find out, oh, it was all fake. We're at that point right now where you literally have to question everything. And so that's what we try to do here on this platform is when I see things, when I come across stuff like this, I'm immediately like, okay, let's break this down for the people. Let's show people, hey, listen, investigate first. Take your time, pump the brakes. Let's look into it. Let's look at it from different angles here. We love our emotions is a part of who we are. It's not something to toss out and throw away. No, our emotions are, it's a blessing, it's a good thing. But we just have to learn how to keep it at bay and use this as well. You understand what I'm saying? And to turn on that investigative part of our brain, and we can look at it and ask questions no matter how hard they may be, or we may not like the answer to them, but we still got to ask these things. And a lot of people, it's going to piss them off because you're not going along with the flow. You know what I mean? You ain't flowing with everybody. You breaking up the flow. You hitting the brakes. We're trying to give it all gas. No, you ain't. You don't need to do that. And the impact that has on your health and your wellness, it all ties in together. This is why I like talking about these things, because it's all tied into your health and your wellness, you know, and when you see things like that, even when I was watching it, you could feel the stress start building up, couldn't you? Some of you could feel that. Well, your body, when it doesn't have a way to expel that stress, where does that stress go? It gets stored into the fat and your fat cells. That's one of the places where stress is stored. Some of y'all be working out all this time and trying to lose weight. And one of the reasons why you may not be losing weight is because you just full of stress, because you be on this thing all day looking at these fools out here doing these skits and not telling you that they're skits. You know what I'm saying? So be very cautious out here when you're watching stuff on social media and you see these things. It's okay to hit the brakes. You know what I'm saying? And to ask questions and to find out, okay, let me look at this. Or, you know what? I'm not going to say anything. Let me give it a few days and let me see how this thing plays out. And usually once you give it a few days, you'll find out. You remember how people were jumping on even that story that, what was that, in Atlanta? The father that was at McDonald's. Oh, he was at McDonald's. He was there just trying to fill out an application, you know, and, you know, while he was doing that, he can't do everything. So he left his kids in the car and he got arrested. What does America come to? We're going to have to do something. You know what? We're going to raise up some money for him. And just like that, people just start raising up money. A few days later, it comes out, he wasn't even at no McDonald's. He was across the street at a hotel. Okay, you can look this up. He was at a hotel, and the last thing he told his daughter, one of his children that was in the car, he told her, he said, Daddy's got to go drop something off. And then they asked, when the police came and they asked her, and they said, and the daughter, she said, yeah, he does this all the time. So no, he wasn't in there filling out no application. But that was people just heard just enough and ran with it. You can't be that. You know what I mean? So be careful of the stuff that you take in on these streets out here, because, you know, it's black folks too that are invested in deceiving you and pulling you down with all this stuff. I'm just saying, so don't get too comfortable. Keep your head on the swivel, ask questions, investigate, and that's it. I know it's going to be it's a challenge for a lot of people because you're not used to doing that. But I'm just here to encourage you to start doing that, because you're going to save yourself a lot of energy. You're going to have a much better you're gonna be much healthier, and you're gonna be more alert when you do that. Okay, that's all I wanted to come on to tell you about. There was some other things I was gonna do, but it's got too late. So we'll probably go live tomorrow with another broadcast. But I just wanted to jump on here and share that with you because I just thought that was, man, that was really something. But anyway, big shout out to everybody. We got Team Truth in the house, of course. Jennifer Young, Salima Ellis is in the house. Who else? I want to. Who else? Let me see. Mad Guns in the house. Miss Sana. I'm just giving shout out to all y'all. Really appreciate y'all being here. Empowered Selfishness in the house. Calculated Crescendo. And anybody else that's in the house. Thank you. Really appreciate you being here. Try buy it, make it, sell it. Yes, I'm gonna say hey to you. Thank you so much. That's all I have for y'all this evening. Thank you so much for tuning in. You guys take care, and I will see you soon. I'll see you again. You guys take care, and until next time, take care.